Here you can see I have my crane getting ready to be built taller, but I glued my two paper towel rolls together. Now I'm going to see if I can show you. Let's bring it around here. Now I am going to show you what I did. I took my piece of paper, and I don't know if my string is long enough here, but we'll try it. Okay, do you see it? I'm going to go on the inside. See if you can see this. I'm going to go on the inside of my circle on my little piece of paper. I used an old index card. Okay, now there you can see I have a little line of glue, and so that way I'm just going to take my paper towel roll and put it down on top of it, just like that. Now again, your parents will need to help you with this. They may even choose to do this, because I know sometimes that when the glue is very hot, you have to be very careful. But I can see an outline of where my circle was on the other side, and I'm going to do the same thing, and then I'm going to put it up here, and we're going to make it one more story taller. Let's see if I can do this where you can see. Okay, I'm taking it around right there. Okay, now I'm going to take it, and can you see this? Oh my goodness gracious, it's getting tall. I hope you can see me doing this. There we go. Now, all right, I'm going to hold it for just a moment, and then I can take my hand away. And, whoops, let's see if you can see. There you can see it's beginning to get taller. Let's see how tall it is over there. It's not taller, well, it is taller, but it's not tall enough now yet to knock over my building. So we're going to have to go even a little bit higher. I went one more paper towel roll higher, that's hard to say. And then I stopped because I figured, you know what, if it will not be stable enough for my purposes here is to, and if I just keep going with paper towel rolls, because it will get too heavy and it will topple over because my material is not strong enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on a chair when the crane starts to do its business. But now I have to make some form of a crossbar, and in my basement, in my collection of goodies, I found one wrapping paper roll, and I decided to use this and rather than take my crane apart, because what I am going to do is I am going to hot glue it up at the top. Let me bring this down. Okay, I am going to glue my paper towel roll at the top, but I can't just glue it this far and not leave anything on the other side because it will pull my crane over. So I am going to have to attach my ball to the end of my crane, and then we're going to disperse the weight so that it does not just equal the weight out. It will need to be longer on the side that the ball is not on, because the ball is going to want to weigh the crane over. But in my collection of goodies, I found my yarn. I found, it's a little like a knee hockey ball that my cat has used as a little toy. You can see the teeth marks in it, but you know what? You use what you have at home. So I am going to attach my ball to my string, and then I'm going to attach my string to my crossbar on the crane, and then we're going to attach the crane crossbar to the actual crane itself. I tied my string around the ball, and then I secured it. I put a little drop of hot glue up at the top, and then I did it at the bottom, and also put a little, if you can see there, a little line of glue on each side of the ball. Let's see if I can focus it in there so that it made it secure and that my wrecking ball can dangle and not fall off. Now I got my wrapping paper roll, and I tied my yarn around that so that when I lift up, let's see if we can find, there we go. There you have your wrecking ball dangling from the suspension bar. All right, the crossbar that's going to go up top. Now, I might find I need to shorten this, so I did not hot glue it. This way I can just wrap it around one more time and secure it, and so that way it will be a little shorter and easier to work with. I think that might be what I'm going to have to do, but we'll find out. But now I need to attach my crossbar to my crane. Let's see how we're going to do that. Remember I said we're going to have to suspend the weight so that it doesn't get too heavy on one side. So we'll see how that happens. Okay, let's see how this goes. Here you can see we have our wrecking ball crane all finished. Now, if you look closely, okay, here we'll start from the beginning. The box that we had the hole in, and we built up with paper towel rolls, placing a little piece of paper in between each one when we hot glued them, because that gave it more area, more surface for the glue to stick to. Then we came up and I did find a paper towel roll and I glued it, but if you recall, I did not glue it right smack in the middle. This is a little heavier on this side, so you've got to find a point that it will balance and will end up being longer on the other side. So now we are going to take it over to our building that we made, and we're going to have some wrecking ball fun. Depending on how tall your structure is and what it is made of, you are going to need to decide how tall you want your crane to be in order to knock it down. Also, depending upon how heavy your ball is. Now, my ball is not that heavy, so I am probably going to have to give my crane a little bit more swing so that when the ball works like a pendulum, it goes back and forth. So when the ball comes out and I let it go and it swings and it hits my structure, the structure is going to, at least part of it, will fall off, just like if you were knocking a building now. Now we have it here, but I'm also going to see what it looks like if I put it in a lower chair. Here it is. I've put it in a lower chair, and this way, when I pull the ball back and it swings forward, it will hit more of the building, and hopefully it will cause a little bit more damage. Now, let me see how I want to. We're going to try this, and hopefully it will not knock my crane over. Let me get it reset. Okay, I think I have it set up so you might can see. I am going to add support to my crane by holding it here. And then I'm going to pull back on this, and now I might have it too high, but we will see what happens. So remember, the further you pull it back, the more force the ball has to hit our structure. So let's see if I even get it aimed correctly. Okay, I'm gonna come over here, and let's all count to 3, and I'm gonna let go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it wasn't strong enough. So let's see. Let me move it a little bit closer, and I'll pull it further back, and let's see what happens this time. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, Mrs. Stein really built a really strong tower. What it is my ball is very lightweight. Let me see if if maybe we can find something heavier. I took off my very lightweight ball and I tried to find something that was a bit heavier because it would make it easier to knock. Because remember I said the heavier the ball, the more mass that it has, the easier it is to break something down. Now I used my roll of tape. It's just a little piece of painter's tape and it's not empty, but it's not full. And I tied it to my crane bar, my crossbar. Now, if you remember, my ball was way out here, but my roll of tape I had to move in because if it is too far out, let me see if I can move it. You know what's going to happen to my crane if it's too far out? Well, can't quite get it done, but if it's too far out, it will cause the crane to topple over. Okay, let's see, now I moved it back just a little bit because I had to, again, make it balance without it falling over. I had to find something what we call the center of gravity so that it can dangle there without being too heavy, and they can both, I guess, be equal. Their gravity, their pulling of the gravity can be equal. So let us see, hopefully now, we can get it set up and see if we can knock it over. Now let's see what happens. Again, I am going to hold the crane so that it doesn't topple because with the pull and the swing, it causes extra stress on the crane. And a lot of cranes have what they call feet, and not like what you walk on, but it anchors them down on the ground so that the weight of the massive structures doesn't pull the truck over. So my hand is gonna kind of act like that. So now this is heavier. Do you think it's gonna pull it down now? I think so, I hope so. But let's see, I'm gonna pull it back, and on the count of 3, I'm gonna let it go, and we're going to watch, hopefully this time, the crane will knock down my building. So are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah, timber. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Again, I am going to hold the crane so that it doesn't topple because with the pull and the swing, it causes extra stress on the crane. And a lot of cranes have what they call feet, and not like what you walk on, but it anchors them down on the ground so that the weight of the massive structures doesn't pull the truck over. So my hand is gonna kind of act like that. So now this is heavier. Do you think it's gonna pull it down now? I think so, I hope so. But let's see, I'm gonna pull it back. And on the count of 3, I'm going to let it go, and we're going to watch, hopefully this time, the crane will knock down my building. So are we ready? 1, 2, 3.